And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the GreyBoys podcast. I am Super Kami Will, and I am here with someone,
It's your boy, Matt. I forgot my name. To be
Mac
honest.
Daddy Gene.
There we go. That was
So
it.
it's Will Super Kami Will here and Mac Daddy Gene. And it's been a little while since our last podcast. I blame Gene, of course.
When was it? Like the beginning of the last anime season?
July, yeah. So it was the beginning of So the anime season that just passed, summer, there was the beginning of that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What have you been up to?
Same old, basically. Working and I've been trying to catch up on anime. But, catching up's wrong. I've just been watching maybe 2 or 3 shows from whatever seasons.
And one of those shows is not Dumbbell, if I remember correctly.
I watched the first 2 episodes, dubbed the Dumbbell. It's not for me.
How you didn't even like the anime opening, though? I mean, okay, maybe the show's not for you, but to go after the opening, that's just...
I think the opening's okay, but like the way you're hyping it up, like
It was the best opening of the season. I think it was also the most downloaded or watched on YouTube.
Is that a fact, or are you just saying that?
No, I'm pretty sure I read an article, I think on like Anime News Network or Sankaku. It was like the most watched YouTube openings.
For anyone watching this, you leave a comment and let us know if you actually like this. If you listen to the opening, we'll see if we can put a link in the bio.
I'm not doing that. No, thank you. Just watch the show. No, the opening's amazing. It's the How to Train Your Dumbbell opening. It was, and the show and the opening were amazing.
The show
Even
wasn't
the
even-
ending was good.
The show wasn't even that good. It was just... I guess I see what they're doing, like trying to make people work out more. And I guess it really had an effect on you because, I see you've been,
Getting swole,
yeah, working out now. doing
drinking
push-ups.
proteins,
Yeah, a whole protein shake.
and fiber bars.
This 3 months gap, or what was it? Yeah, the 3 month gap we've been gone. This guy became a total gym rat, like just working out nonstop.
And
every
you've
day.
just been a regular rat.
But I guess in addition to Dumbbell, I see they are doing a bunch of shows. Well, not a bunch, but I think it kind of started with that.
How the cells at work?
Yeah, like it's like a lot more
Informative,
educational
yeah.
shows. And to talk about one show that
Just talk about Dr. Stone. We know you want to.
Well, yeah, he's leading Dr. Stone because that's my show for the season that just passed. I love that show. But basically what I was saying was, like, for cells at work, they talk more about cells but put in a fun way. And,
They informed me how the body worked.
right. And then we had the Dumbbell show, which did simple workouts you can do at home and, like, common
Well, no,
misconceptions.
I think it was all over the place. It was like how to properly like do normal workouts at the gym, and then how to do workouts in like maybe your everyday life. So if you're like at home, or it was like everywhere. It wasn't really just like focused at gym and home. They did like remember like the like in the mountain hiking stuff like that. So I think it was good in that. It was like very I don't know all over the place.
Yeah, it was all around. Like, one thing that I didn't enjoy the show, but I did take for what it taught. Like, there was one episode where they were talking about, like, oh, it's a common misconception, like, when you start working out or whatever, don't stretch. I'm like, for a second there, I was like, okay, this show's full of shit, because how was everyone saying stretch and then you can't? And I looked it up, and it's actually true. Like, there's certain stretches you do that'll mess you up, and others that'll actually do better. Recently, their most educational show is Dr. Stone.
It's not even weird. It's the exact same season.
Is it? Oh, it is. Okay.
It's just longer lasting.
Which is weird because I pay for the Verve, but I'm paying for that, and they don't have the Dumbbell show. I would watch it because I pay for my anime now because I find it so much easier to download it
Elitist.
and just have it and just stream it. But for some reason, Verve doesn't have it, and I don't
Sub or dub?
either.
Really? Or is it probably a Funimation thing then? Maybe.
Even the sub? I thought Crunchyroll kind of like.
Well, no. Now that since they separated, Funimation wants to get more subs too. They
Really?
want to, yeah.
Is it on? Is it on the Funimation service? Funimation Now?
I haven't checked, but it might be. I think. I think so.
Okay. Well, let me know. But anyway, back to Dr. Stone. I think it's a real dope show. It's on even Toonami picked it up. It's pretty cool. It's basically the whole world got turned to stone, and like 3,016 years in the future, people started getting out, and like it's a whole Stone Age. So there's this one guy who's like 1,000 IQ.
The main character.
Right. And he's like a genius, so he knows how to make everything from soda electricity.
Soda, that's the thing you lead with?
Yeah,
it's amazing, guys. He can make soda.
In the last episode, like, he made it. And it was,
whoa, last episode sub or dub?
Sub.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you're watching them sub. Yeah, I'm watching them dub. I'm watching a lot of shows through Toonami, like Fire Force. So that's what I'm getting it from. So you're like, how many episodes do you think above? Ahead.
I'm on episode 14.
Oh, you're like almost 10 away.
Yeah, so I'm way ahead because I think where they leaving the dub.
They're currently, when this is recording, the last episode was they were making food for the village. Mm-hmm. That's like the whole episode. Like they're just trying to introduce.
Okay, so that was like about 4 or 5 episodes in. But basically, the show is it's cool just to see. So I was talking to Will about this, and I whenever I'm into a show, I kind of like blindside everything on the outside, like anything really bad about it. So it's cool kind of like to talk to him about it and see, and then be like, you know what?
You're lying. He doesn't think it's cool. He hates it.
No, what? No, because
I can go on about Super and
okay, that's
SAO,
different.
We talk to all day.
But but there's sometimes he's actually good criticism. That's kind of like I get it. Difference between Cell at Work and the Dumbbell Show, they make it pretty easy for you to understand. So when I was talking about Dr. Stone, I was like, oh, it's cool. They're teaching kids science, and he was like, no, they're teaching maybe like college students science, but no one other than that's gonna answer that. Not even college students. We have to be like science major college students. And I was like, no, they kind of break it down because they break it down to like the basic elements because that's all they have. Like they don't have any steel, nothing like that. So they have to do everything from the beginning. And after he said that, he kind of like broke down like
the chemical formulas and how like it was it's not even at college, it's like advanced levels of science. You have to really be studying it and into it to get it because the average person, I think would really go over your head. And I also like on Toonami they keep posting before the episode starts, after the episode starts, like this is real stuff they're doing. Don't try to hold I'm not going in the woods to find how to make gunpowder through my hands. This is insane.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where now since we kind of live in a society where everyone's blaming TV shows, video games, and everything, it's just like, hey, we said it right here, like. Don't do it.
I took things away from Cells at Work and How to Train Your Dumbbell. Dr. Stone, I almost tune out when he goes in on how what he's exactly doing because I'm like I can't get this. This is too much.
I'm actually waiting for one episode where they do something, say something useful, just so I can rub it in his face. I'm waiting. 14 episodes in, haven't met one yet, but I'm still holding out hope.
But it's a good show. I think the beginning was a little slow. I wasn't really into the two characters he was with in the beginning, the boy and the girl. I thought the boy was too loud, and it was over the top, and I get that was what his character was supposed to be, but I found it boring. Not boring, but it was too much of me, and the girl was just super bland.
I'm going to guess that a lot of people had that same reception, because after episode 5, I have not seen them. They split away, and we're not even checking in on them. I have no idea what they're doing. For all I know, they could have been dead, like 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, when he goes to the village after he leaves them, the show for me really picked up. I think I enjoy the characters he's with. It's just a whole story around that. Like he's teaching them science too, but it's just like even then it's like a lesser science because they don't really get how a lot of things work. Like they don't like right now the last episode I watched was they were cooking, and so we were just talking about ingredients and like that was the things I actually think I might have gotten more than anything else was when he was talking like the wheat and the grain and how to make bread from that, and it was a lot easier to pick up for the average man like me, and I think it's just a story. It was just more interesting, more developed characters that he's with.
Yeah.
I also wasn't into that. Like, there's 4 people in this world alive that we know of in the beginning, and like one is a supervillain. I think it was a little bit too much. Like, come on, really? I like it more that it's like the big hurdle they're in is just to convince people that like he's not like a witch or like a witch doctor. He's it's science. It's not something to be afraid of.
I get what you're saying. I guess it's kind of cliche, but I feel like they need an opposing force. Like I feel like it works as something for them to work towards, but I don't know if this is much of a spoiler. So
yeah, it's all right. We'll spoiler talk for next 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah. So it's not big, but
it's not even spoilers really. Just be up to date with the show.
Basically, that villain, he kind of came in and left, so he's also gone. I have not seen him for like seven, 8
because
episodes.
In the beginning, the two characters that he's with, the main Dr. Stone, he tells them to like infiltrate his camp and be his friends. Which I'm curious how he would believe that.
Well,
like he just killed their friends, so they want to work with him.
It's mostly a survival thing, like
I guess. Also, I don't like that in a like a realistic show. Not a realistic, but like show that's kind of based in realism. They have the main villain is like superhuman and can do superhuman things.
Okay, so like, when he says super villain, it's
they
one of
threw
those...
gunpowder at him and exploded it, and he survived. And it was a big explosion too.
It was. So he's just... I guess can't you also say that the guy that came with him is also kind of... Because that rock was pretty big for him to like throw up in the sky like that. So he was also kind of strong.
Yeah, I guess.
But the thing about this supervillain, he's not a villain. Would you call him an anti-hero? Something like that?
Kind of a villain. He's killing people. Wasn't he killing kids too?
Yeah. No, just adults. Wasn't? His whole thing is like adults are evil, so get rid of adults, just kids.
I thought there was a clip when he like saw like two kids in like holding hands in statue and he like broke them when he walked by.
I don't know. I don't think they were kids. His whole thing is only adults. Like he's only killing adults. I think he's okay. He's cool.
He's not cool.
I think he's cool.
He's just killing people. I want you to know, Gene, we are adults here. He'd kill us. He would not let us live. We are in our mid-20s. He would not have kids. He would be killed immediately. You're not surviving. He's not letting you live. Oh, they just run the show for him. But hold on, we gotta talk about other shows too. So Dr. Stone, what would you give it? And Dumbbell too. I'd give Dumbbell... I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10.
Dr. Stone, it's not done yet, so I don't know if I can, because Dumbbell's done.
Yeah, but like...
So where am I now? Yeah,
I'm on both shows.
Dumbbell? I only watched 2 episodes of Dumbbell.
Okay, so you didn't like it. You didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I wasn't with it.
Okay, so
Dumbbell, I'd give it an 8.5. I'm really enjoying it.
No, you mean Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, yeah.
Okay, you said Dumbbell.
Oh,
so Dumbbell, you get Dr. Stone, you're giving it an 8.
Right.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 too.
Okay.
Like it's just once you get past those first like 3 episodes, I think it really picks up and becomes a really interesting story.
All right.
Fire Force.
Right, I was gonna say that to pick up from where we left off on the last podcast. So, just as a refresher, because I know time passed, you said that you were really skeptical about it because it's about firefighters and like you don't want normal people doing it.
No, that wasn't what I meant. I was like I don't watch shows about like sports or realistic jobs really. I like the fantasy aspect more than anything of. I don't think I'm really a big slice of life guy, so I don't like to see people just like living their lives.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
wait, how do you feel about Supersonico?
Supersonico, that's different.
Okay, all right.
It's a harem, just in my mind.
What about Love Live?
Love Live? That is not a slice of life.
What is that then?
They went to New York City.
They're living their life.
Yeah, like a better life than...
Okay, they went to New York. That was a movie. That wasn't part of a TV show.
And didn't they go to New York and like go on like late night shows too?
Who are you asking? I didn't watch.
You watched the second movie.
But they didn't go to New York in that movie.
Yeah, they didn't.
I feel like you just said that just to say I saw a Love Live movie.
Well, they're super rich family parents.
They're not rich. There's like 2 of them that's rich.
And you know what? They're so rich that they're just like, hey, want to go to like Paris? I'm like, okay.
But it's still a slice of life. There's always a rich girl in a slice of life.
That was too rich girl though. Anyway. I was skeptical of Fire Force also because the first like episode or 2, it was alright. Like I know people were really excited for it.
I think the first episode was a good setup. On the characters and everything. I think you might be remembering wrong.
No, I wasn't into like the first 2 episodes, and then the first major arc focused around the nun, who was the most boring and bland character of that whole show.
She's the weakest?
That's why I was surprised that that first arc's gonna focus on her. Like she barely says anything.
That arc was like 2 episodes.
Well, yeah, I didn't know at the time how long it was gonna be. It was more than 2 episodes. It was like 3.
No, because they met the princess,
Princess Hibana.
And then the sister went right after that episode to go to her. And then
no, the fight was multiple episodes. So it was like 2-3 episodes. That was like 3, yeah. Maybe 3, maybe even more.
We have to fact check that one. But.
Well, yeah, okay, we'll look into it. But, so I wasn't into it, and now that was my favorite show of the season, I think. Because I loved where they went.
Right now we're both watching Fire Force dubbed
on
Toonami because... that accident happened at their studio where the burn-in.
Well, let's not get into that.
And
It was pushed back like a week.
I don't know
Or
how
few
far
weeks.
the sub is.
I don't think it's that far ahead.
Right. So we decided we'll just watch the dub, but the show is really good. Where I'm at a point where I kind of want to just skip ahead and watch the sub, but I like the whole waiting a week and everything to find out. But it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
I also really like the voice acting for the dub.
Yeah, voice acting's not bad. Funimation has that, right?
Yeah, Funimation has it.
Does Toonami have a deal with just Funimation, or do they have from other people? Like
No, because
Sentai?
I think they've had Animeplex on. But then Animeplex is also
That was
owned by
like Full
Sony,
Metal.
so I don't know.
It
It might be just like a strict deal.
It might be because they're getting a lot of
No, I'm sorry. We keep getting. They have Food Wars, and Food Wars is
Sentai.
Sentai Filmworks.
Right.
So
But
no, it's not just Funimation.
I always think about it, like it's cool that Toonami came back because they came back pretty good. Like when they said they were coming back, I thought they were gonna get like old shows, just like air whatever.
Dragon Ball
But yeah, but they had Dragon. Well, okay, Dragon Ball Super was old.
Now more
But
than
Dr.
ever,
Stone is still airing.
Now more than ever, I think their show is stacked with brand new content. It's like One Punch Man, Fire Force, Dr. Stone, Food Wars. Like it's like brand new shows they haven't. Like it's no repeats or anything of them. And they're definitely gonna get My Hero Academia soon too.
They had season 1 too, right? Yeah, they
had
did.
all the
yeah.
seasons.
Okay, so
And probably Attack on Titan.
So Toonami is actually making a good comeback, but didn't they push their time back or something? Or I don't know.
They started 11:30, then they started earlier, then they went back to 11:30.
So Toonami's all over the place. So I don't know what their future is, but they are getting decent enough top shows. So
That's
we'll
also
see.
a problem for them is they have a lot of good shows airing, but they're airing so late into the night that I don't want to
Yeah,
stay
it's
up
like
late.
up until like 4 a.m. I mean, well, the good shows are only up until about. Because I think once you get to Lupin, then that's just
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I
Whatever
don't think anyone's
shows.
watching Toonami to watch old My Hero Academia episodes anyway.
right. So
But I don't understand. Like, it's Family Guy and like those shows that air right before that. Are they really hitting such big numbers that Toonami has to be pushed that far back?
and it's not only that, but it's also they show Dragon Ball Z Kai before that. There's a Dragon. It's either Super or Dragon Ball Z that they show for like
Just a random
30
episode.
minutes to an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to Family Guy. Then it goes back to Toonami. So it looks unorganized. I think all in all, Cartoon Network is a mess. Would it be cool if Cartoon Network just turned to Adult Swim and just got rid of Cartoon Network? Because I mean, all Cartoon Network is doing right now is Teen Titans Go.
We'll talk. Gee, we're going off topic.
Right. Okay.
Fire Force.
Back to Fire Force. Fire Force. Basically, I'm loving it. I can't wait to see how they do it. Like, it's not. I'm not into shows that are too overly like happy and everything. Because like he's like, oh, I want to be a hero and everything. It sounds kiddie, but it's got a pretty dark story going on. You know.
Yeah.
There's people having other people burn alive.
Yeah. And they're like kids too.
Yeah.
I was very surprised they did that. That he just like started. I mean, technically the kid survived because he became like. He got fire
There's
powers.
kids that died.
They did mention the kids died.
Oh, but they didn't.
I don't think they didn't show it, but they did kill the kid's mother.
Mom, yeah.
And then the kid started crying, which is pretty dark, I guess.
And he did beat that girl.
Yeah. Well, I think the most surprising that this show became a harem. I didn't expect that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be that.
I think I always expected harem. When it comes to a main character working with other characters, including a female, yeah, I kind of expect it. And a guy.
But not in like a major shonen show. And that's what this is.
Fair enough.
Shonen Jump?
'Cause
It was on there.
Okay.
So it's like I think for that, it's a first. I mean, it'd be like if everyone was in a Deku. But it's
So basically, you made a 180. You don't feel like it's just about fighters anymore.
I think not only that, it's an interesting story. Mm-hmm. Like I like the mythology of like the Infernals and the world they're living in. Like it's like I want to know more about the religion because it's kind of vague right now from where we are. So I want to see how that like formed too.
It looks like they praise fire.
Or like a fire god.
Yeah.
But not the sun or anything.
No.
Actually, I don't think they worship. I think they just worship regular God, and like the fire is like devil. What? I don't even know. Yeah, because the religion is not as fleshed out as I'd like it to be.
I do like their prayer, Latome. That's it, right?
Yeah,
Latome.
I like the hand motion of the tome too, like Assassin's Creed logo.
Well, it's a cool show. Can't wait to see where it goes. Do you know how many episodes?
I think it's 24 to 26.
All right, cool. Dr. Stone is that too.
Would you rate it though?
So
I think
far,
I'd give this.
I'd give it a 9.
I'd give it an 8, 8.5 maybe. The first episode or two was pretty boring.
Like I said, I liked it. It was a good setup on him.
Oh, also quickly,
and Arthur.
I love the characters in this. I think the characters, besides the nun, is the nun is the only one that they haven't fleshed out. She's now just there. She doesn't even speak in most episodes. But the rest of the cast, I love it. I love the characters, and I love the dynamic between him and his rival, the swordsman, because I think that's for me the only like I don't like shonen shows where the two, like the main character and his rival, like really aggressively hate each other.
So Naruto.
Naruto, even Fairy Tail, well, it's not Shonen Jump, but like Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball Z. Like after a while, the bickering becomes bitching, and it's just annoying to watch. In this show, the two friends have a genuine chemistry, and they more tease each other than like just make nasty comments. I love it.
Yeah, the characters are really cool. The whole cast from the captain, first time he showed up, he was cool. The second in command, he gives off this like bland aura, but like the way he plays it off is really cool. Like, you know, second in command.
Yeah, he's actually become my favorite character.
Yeah, he's really cool.
He starts off bland, but then like as he fleshes out more, like you understand why he's like that.
And the fact that the nun is really weak, but you can't. It doesn't really bother you that much because she's not like she's there on the side.
Yeah,
like I feel like she was just a plot device to bring in the Princess Habana.
During the last arc when they were infiltrating the first platoon, I don't think she was in like a single episode. The whole episode was the main character, the swordsman, and the military girl. They went undercover. Oh no, the main two went undercover, and the military girl and the vice captain would like pop in every once in a while to see how they're doing. The nun was like never there.
And if she was, that's how bland she is.
Yeah,
like we didn't even notice. But she's not messing up anything. Like, yeah, she's bland. If anyone brought her up, like, oh yeah, she's in there, but who cares? But she's not ruining.
She's anything. A wallflower at this point. And that's all right. She's really just in at it for Princess Habana to like talk to when she's not hitting on the main character. So what else was last season? Oh, the Milsekai.
The MILF Isekai.
What a gem! 10 stars. 10 stars, Gene. It was amazing.
I'd give it a 6.
6? Really?
The story was. I didn't. The art was amazing. The characters were.
You know why? You didn't watch it uncensored. That's why.
You watched it uncensored?
I watched scenes uncensored.
Okay, I gotta go back. Raiden Pendant. But honestly, the story wasn't all that. Like, hey, you know, I don't like my mom. Oh, but she's cool. She's alright. She's gonna one-hit everything. And just, it's such a weird message. Like, oh, you know, you need to love your mom and treat your mom, and it's okay.
Well, I didn't even think of it like, that's not even how I took it. I looked at it more like, would there like, they have not an ideal, but like a good one. And I think I think the story focused on he didn't realize how much of a nice mom he had, and then after seeing all these other bad parents who were like verbally and physically abusive to their kids and mentally, like he's starting to understand like, oh no, like, you know, she's a pretty good mom. So I took it more like I didn't take it the way you did. Like I like the show. I like how they're dealing with other people's parents. I thought it was interesting that way.
I feel like it was also one of those, like in the beginning of the podcast, talk about like educational animes. I don't think of it educational, but more of a like, hey, you know, parents fight, but you know, you still gotta love them or your mom or whatever issue. I don't know. Watching that show, I feel like the creator just had
but even that, because that's not. I don't think that's what they were going for. Like, love your parents no matter what. It was like no. It was for both. It was like.
I'm not saying like just love your parents. It's just like, you know, there are disagreements. Like, this is why this person, like the parents think like that and the kids think like that. But you know,
I would argue back though, because a lot of the other parents were in situations where like no. What the parent is doing is wrong. Like the first parent ignored their child, and the child in return didn't want to be associated with the mother, and the second one, which was the blue-haired. The mother was verbally, like, she was, like, berating her, and then she hit her a few points, too. So I think it was interesting in that sense. I don't think it was like no, both have a right. I was like, no, in certain situations, you know, these are bad parents.
Okay, so notwithstanding the first mom, because the first mom was a bad mom, the tan one.
Yeah.
The second mom, because after they had their issues with their parents, then they went back and like, oh, you know, I'm only like this because I want the best for my kid, this and that. And it gets to be like, okay, we get it, you care, but, like, there's a limit, like, you can't do this. Like, It's a really nice message, 100%. Like, but it's not what I'm looking for. Especially, like, I know a lot of shows now. I'm gonna talk about another show later, but just to have the main character always overpowered and everything, and just it's just like. But you know what?
Well, the main character wasn't overpowered. His mom was.
And they actually made a fun joke about it, which I guess I like, because one time they were like, okay, we sent an assassin over at your house, and then the characters was just like, oh, but mom's home, so it's cool, and no one worried. Why did they start worrying? Because there was something like they had to rush
get a
home.
bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, the show it was I was just on the hype train because it was just like a hot anime mom.
I think the major downfall for me with the show was that the bad parents had like a external element that made them bad parents. Like they had like remember like the spells. Like people would be so the whole thing is they get transported into a video game, and so some external force is like dropping items that let the parents break the rules of the game. And in the abusive moms, the physically abusive mom's case, she like her mind got twisted from it, and that was kind of like a crutch of like I don't know, she went this far because only of this. I think it would have been more interesting if it was like no, it's just
How she is.
yeah, like because all the moms really got kind of redeemed in the end. In all seriousness, the show is alright. It's not an amazing show. It really is kind of just.
So do you want to give us the real rating, not that 10 stars?
The real rating, it's probably like a 6 or 7, 6.5, I guess.
Okay.
It was an interesting show, but the message of the show really like, it was like, hey, be better parents, and also, incest is in? I don't know. I don't get what they were trying to say with the show, because it was a heavy influence on the mom and son.
I mean, all right, never mind. I was about to make a sick joke, but let's keep going.
But yeah, I give it a 6.5. What about you?
Yeah, I give it a 6. Solid 6. Great art. I like the character designs.
What other shows did you watch from last season? Last season, you didn't watch it, but I watched but the show about the two kids, and the girl teases the boy. You remember that?
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is last season?
Yeah, it's the second season of the show. You didn't watch either season.
Huh.
But it was a cute show. So the show's name was Teasing Master Takagi-san. It was a cute show. It's slice of life. I first heard about it through the manga. I didn't read the manga, but I knew about the show. I knew about the manga, so I then watched the first season. And then I was surprised to get a second season. And the manga is interesting, too, because the creator has 2 current manga about that going on. One is the main story, and the other one is them as adults married with a kid. Yeah, it's a really cute story. And so it's just a show about, like, these 2 kids, I think they're middle schoolers, and they have feelings for each other. They're both too embarrassed to express it. So the girl always teases the boy, and the boy always tries to tease. Like, he always gets embarrassed because he blushes and falls for her teasing. So he tries to kind of one-up her, but always ends up falling right into a trap. Cute story. Probably the last season. But I really enjoyed it. If you want something just like kind of, a cute story to watch, I'd watch that. I'd give it like an 8.5. I thought it was really good, enjoyable.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have to be the last season. Wouldn't he have to do? Couldn't they adapt that other part of the manga where they're adults?
Maybe they could. I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I think for the last season, I guess I only watched Dr. Stone, Fire Force, and I know you're watching the Dungeon one.
Dungeon? Oh, the Hestia show.
Yes.
Yes, that was a dark horse for me. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Really?
I was very surprised by it. The first season was as bland and early isekai as you could think of, but even though it wasn't isekai. But it had that element, like that feeling of an isekai.
Yeah, because they were able to open up their like character boards like a video game.
I mean, technically, it's an isekai for the gods. They just didn't die. They just got transported into the world, the human world, our world.
Is it? Because they just kind of weren't they just living on the? Like,
they were living in heaven. Yeah.
And they just come down.
Yeah.
Same world.
I guess
that's like saying every time Goku died and went to heaven, that was an isekai.
I mean, wasn't it? Wasn't he isekai to begin with because he's from another planet?
No, I'm. That's off topic. That's another conversation. But heaven confused me in Dragon Ball Z.
You mean Hiffle? No, it's Hell. Never mind. The same thing. But the Hestia show, oh man, super surprised it was this good. I thought it was gonna be trash. I didn't even want to watch it. I felt like I was forcing myself. Yeah, I think it was the first show of the season that I finished. Like when it was all done, I was like, I'm finishing that one. The first arc it was alright. Wasn't amazing, but then it goes right into the main story that lasted like a good maybe 6-8 episodes, and it took darker turns than I thought it was. A lot of focus on like prostitution and forced prostitution. Very dark stuff. I really liked it. So this season, it started off. It was an alright episode. They fought another god for like basically like a war game in a way, like that one familia versus another one, winner take all. Hesia's team won, and they also the show started with like 3 characters just joining her family, the blacksmith, and the helper, the little girl, like the wolf girl. Right. So and then just a swordswoman from the first season who was kind of like just there, which I was surprised about. But then she's like becomes like a main character fast, and so they win that. They get the house. Then they focus on the next part of the arc, which focuses around a fox girl who was banished from her family, and then by force became a prostitute. And so the main character wants to save her, and she goes on about how the heroes save the light, and the prostitution's like the opposite of that. They're everything dark, and she doesn't feel like she deserves to be saved. And so the story focuses on that, and they kind of cop out at the end.
How? Because
when he first goes to save her, she's like, I'm used. I'm a prostitute. Like, heroes don't save prostitutes. They ignore us. And then his whole stance is like, no, if that's what other heroes do, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to save everyone. And then in the end, you find out that she was never really a prostitute.
Okay, that sounds annoying.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about that. And it was kind of funny the way they did it. The story was that she legit thought she was one. Because apparently she didn't know what sex was, I guess. I don't know. Even though she looks like she's in her 20s or 30s. But she didn't know what it was. So when the first time a man went into her room, she passed out. And it happened again. So they was like, okay, you're not a prostitute then. Originally she was going to be used for like a sacrifice to make everyone level up.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, I know that's a little... It's not exactly, but I hate it when shows kill characters just to have them come back. Like that, it's...
Wait, what? Where are you getting that from?
Like, just, you know how, like, you said, like, it's a cop-out.
Yeah,
cop-out. Like, yeah. But it's just, like, I hate it when shows...
Such a weird example.
I know, but, like, just remember... Because you said you hated that because it felt like cop-out. And it just reminded me of, like, I hate it when shows do that. Like, they're like, oh, this person died. But, oh, now they're back to life because...
Like in Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z is different. That's okay. Dragon Ball Z is fine because they've been doing that since the beginning of the series.
So anyway, the Hestia show. Second season was really good. The last 2 to 3 episodes of the season were the season ended it was a pretty good arc, like a really good arc. And then there was like an episode or 2 left, and they just like started some random like side mini arc thing. I was kind of thrown off about it. It was basically to focus on, Hestia wanted to get with the main character. The main character's like, humans and gods can't get together. So it's basically them dealing with their relationship, and in the end, it ends with them like how at the beginning. Nothing. That's the only down part of the season is that the beginning and the end of the season, like the 2 episodes, are pretty boring and like exactly what you would think of the first season. But the middle part was really good.
So rated?
7, I think. I really liked it. But it was, maybe it's 7 to 6.5. I don't know. You have a problem with that rating?
I mean, 7 seems okay. To say I really like it. It's a 7.
Well, no. Like I said, I really like the middle part. It's capped at just 2.
Okay, so
bland.
just the middle part.
Yeah.
Just the middle part. What would you give the rating for that?
Just the middle part. An 8.5. To a 9. Well, no. Do you want me to go in like all the minute details? You didn't watch the show.
That's fine. I'll give it a shot for that. For the last.
Yeah, I mean,
season,
you really could watch just like the middle part. And you wouldn't
miss anything.
You wouldn't miss anything. You'd be like, "Who's that woman with them?" And it's like that's how I felt in the beginning too.
Was Shield Hero last season?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Okay. I really can't remember last season.
I mean, we kind of just finished all
that.
It? Yeah, we finished this whole season. We can talk about any
season?
upcoming shows or anything. Although we couldn't. Okay, so apology to the audience for being gone for so long. Originally, we planned on doing a whole podcast with the Shield Hero. I mean, we watched the show. I went back and watched like episodes. We had extensive notes. I mean, I was watching that show, just breaking down the show scene by scene. That's how prepared we were for this. And then when we came together to do the podcast, it was the worst thing we could have done. It was so bad.
Yeah, we don't know if you guys want to listen to like. Because, like, how many episodes was it? It was, like...
24, I think.
And we kind of went into whole summarizing every episode. Like,
we're still working this out. We don't know the formula, how we want to do it. Like, I think right now we'd like doing this, like just recapping shows. Like,
give it like 10, 15 minutes, like hours.
Yeah, we don't, like, that podcast was shaping up to be like an hour of just the Shield hero.
And that was only like the first half.
Yeah, after 30 minutes, we were like 10 episodes in, and it was like, okay, we can't do this whole thing, right? I mean, we don't expect you to... Okay, so we actually do go back and listen to this podcast to see how it goes. Because, we heavily edit it sometimes. Like, some things we're just not funny or just not important, and we cut it out. So we usually go back and listen to it. We wouldn't go back and listen to an hour podcast on the Shield hero. So we thought, who else would? Yeah. And it kind of just threw off the mojo for a while. It's summer. We were doing different things. So that's why we were gone. But hopefully we plan on coming. We're back. We plan on doing more. We have some ideas for shows.
And more guests.
Yeah. We do have people planned coming back. We've been saying that for like half a year now. And they've been waiting to come on, but it was just a weird timing for everyone.
Yeah, and it's scheduling issues. We're big time.
Yeah. Well, I think the next episode I'm thinking it might be a small episode, and it'll just be maybe not a small episode actually, just like basically what we did last episode before this, just upcoming season, the fall season. It's like a week in.
Right.
So my pick shows, watch the first episode, come back, and just general thoughts on that.
Okay. I guess I was gonna say we could talk about this season, but
off the top of our head, I don't.
Yeah, there's only one show this season I'm watching. It's called High School Prodigies Have It Too Well in the New World, or Have It Too Easy. It's another isekai, and I've noticed
isekai trash.
I've noticed that for me to watch a show, it has to have a title that's basically in English. And I'll be like, okay, I can watch that. So I saw that, and right now it really is just basic isekai. It's 7 high schoolers, all with specific abilities. One's an entrepreneur, one's a politician, one's a samurai, engineer, a ninja journalist, and a magician. That's 6. I forgot 7. Oh, one's a nurse. And they just have like extraordinary abilities, like they're better than people who are in that field. And they're just going around the world basically just being OP. Like they can't be beat, they're just taking over the government and everything. It's just...
That sounds good, but I want you to know, I've just been blown away. I've just been thinking like, oh my god, he really does just watch shows with English names. Like, it's really is. I'm trying to think of like a show in the past year that you watched that didn't have an English name. Nothing.
Yeah, and something about like, oh, that's in English. I could totally get behind that. Because I feel weird just watching a show that I don't even know a name. Like, it'll just be like...
So, did you not like Dumbbell because it was I kept giving the Japanese name?
No! You always gave me Dumbbell. So
I know, but if I gave you the full title of like, how much can you lift with that dumbbell, would you have watched it?
I think 100%. If I saw that there, with that art, then yes, I would have.
Jesus Christ. Oh, I know a show we forgot to talk about. Demon Slayer. Did you watch this episode of Toonami?
No, we Toonami picked it up. Right now, they only had one episode.
Demon Slayer has ended people. We are super late on this. I had zero plans of ever watching it, even at its most high point. Didn't care for it at all. But then Toonami came out. I was like, we're playing it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so I caught up. Well, I just watched the sub, but I did watch episode 1. Demon Slayer had a lot of hype when it came up. Why did it?
I think it was amazing art.
Oh, okay, that was it?
Yeah, I think there was like a big fight scene that was like super beautiful, and of course, I kind of blew up because a ninja commented, I think, once about it. I remember Ninja
Fortnite?
I remember seeing on Twitter, like, Ninja from Fortnite was commenting. I was like, this is why it's... I don't get into that.
Okay, well, yeah, we both only watched episode 1.
Yeah, but on the dub on Toonami.
So for you guys, it's done completely, but episode 1 was great. It was...
Really? I wasn't that into it.
Why?
You
said you think it's slow, a lot happened.
No, not slow. I was like... So the episode, he goes to the village... Mm-hmm. And I felt like everyone in the village was taking it. Like, they try to show that he was a nice person, but I just took away, like, oh, everyone in the village kind of just is using him. And then it was a lot of, like, just... I don't even know how to word it. It was a lot of just, like, things happen because the story needs them to happen. Mm. So he's on his way home, and then just some random old guy's like, hey, come sleep here tonight. And then he sleeps there, and he just gives him, like, a whole exposition on how the world works and demons. And I was confused because it made it seem like... this is something we all live with. But then why didn't the character know about it?
Yeah, okay. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I can watch a episode and be like, yeah, this is great. Then I come to Will's house, man, can you believe this shit? And I'll be like,
I mean, super critical.
I did think it was weird, like the way he was explaining it. He was like, huh, demons, okay. And I was like, is it like, have you not heard of it?
It was a heavy exposition dump just for the audience.
Because then he asked something and he was like, yeah, that's why we have demon slayers.
Yeah.
And he acted like, huh, like, do you not know what a demon slayer is? Like, okay, I'll give him. Okay, you see, he's really critical about it. But
and then after, when he goes and sees his whole family massacred and his sister's trying to kill him, the demon slayer shows up and he's like, "Oh, if only I was a day earlier." I was like, "Yeah, no doubt, they would have been alive."
To be fair to him, he said half a day.
Half a day, excuse me.
But okay, I feel like shows have to take at least the first episode to set everything up.
They don't pause the anime like that, though, just to give us information.
But they only have 22 minutes to, like, really stuff things in. And people complain when the first couple of episodes are slow. Like, okay, we get it. We're meeting characters. We're setting this up. It gets boring. So I always give them benefit of the doubt for the first episode. Like, just speed past it. I don't want, like, first episode, he's happy, you know, everything's going good. Then not until the second episode, his family dies. Like, his family died, like, halfway through the episode. Cool. Hey, I'm going to become a demon slayer and save... Because his sister turned into a demon, so she survived.
I'll do the hot takes here. This show is not doing it for me.
Really?
I will say, I think it's a little slow.
But it's the first episode.
I know, but I'm trying to think, like, what happened this episode? I'm like, well, a bunch of stuff happened the whole, like, first 20 minutes. And then the real stuff happened when his family died.
First 20 minutes? The show's 22 minutes long. His family died like 10 minutes in.
Oh, 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes. It feels like longer because we have commercial breaks. And I think the commercial breaks really messed it up.
And because those first couple minutes are pretty slow.
First 10 minutes, they set up like, hey,
even the whole
this
thing
is my family, this is their name, we're going down to the village.
I know, but he goes and finds his sister, and there's a couple minutes when it's like, he's carrying her, then he falls, and he's like, what's happening? And then it wasn't the best first episode I've seen. But apparently it gets better, so I'll have to wait.
As you guys are listening here, you see how critical he is? Watch it, you'll be like, okay, he makes sense here, but he's being way too strict. Just give 10 minutes to be like, hey, this is the people, this is the village, this is the world. Okay, cool, his family's dead, this is what his mission is now.
The last show we'll talk about for today, because we are going long, One Punch Man. Season 2 is on Toonami. That first episode had me with like the first couple minutes. It threw me right back into what about the second season.
I didn't watch. But what about the art? I know people were complaining about the art.
So a lot of people complain about the art because they changed studios to a studio that's known for having subpar art. Honestly, it felt like nitpicking because I didn't notice it. I knew about it, obviously, from when the show season first aired, but watching on Toonami, I didn't notice the art at all. Like, it's noticeable at scenes, but never enough to, like, bother me one way or the other. It's like, oh, it's a little different. Okay.
I was watching, Toonami put the trailer for One Punch Man, and I was like, this actually looks good. And like, people were talking about this one fight scene that looks gorgeous. And I'm like, and I saw clips of that, and it looked good. So I'm not really sure. I do have to go watch episode 1, and I'll start watching that weekly with Will. So,
yeah.
So what is it on Toonami we're watching now? You're watching Dr. Stone.
So I think Toonami is. I'm not sure. I'm not in the proper order.
But Dragon Ball Super still up front.
Dragon Ball Super. Then I think it's One Punch Man. Actually, I think I do might know the order. So the actual order is Dragon Ball Z Super, Kai. Then it's One Punch Man, Dr. Stone, Fire Force. Then it might be Demon Slayer, and then Food Wars. That's what I'm watching. What are you?
I'm just gonna be watching. I'm skipping over Super. I'm gonna watch One Punch Man.
Who isn't at this point?
I mean, I'm only skipping because it's done.
Yeah, it's the fact that they have it up front and it's just random episodes now. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that time slot could be used elsewhere. They need in the back with the other stuff.
They should be promoting One Punch Man. That should be the first one. No, Boruto's not there anymore.
It's not.
No, they're back to Naruto. So I don't understand how that worked. Maybe they're getting too close. It's not dubbed. I don't know.
Or maybe Boruto's just bad. Anyway, no, I'm just gonna be watching One Punch Man. Not Dr. Stone. I'm watching that sub. I'm only be watching 2 shows. Yeah,
Five and Demon Slayer.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 3 shows.
Right. So just those 3.
Yeah, so that's what we have. Yeah. And like I said, amazing lineup. Like, that's an all-star lineup to me.
Yeah, for something that died out for a while and just came back,
I mean, it didn't just come back. It's been like
Well, yeah, it's been like for years. That's
like
true.
3 years.
But I gotta say, when they said, "Oh, we're coming back," I was like, "Okay."
For a
I
while,
doubt
it was
you
just
guys
like the
will.
greatest hits.
Yeah,
Like they get shows like Gundam Mind Blooded Orphans, but I don't think they ever did that well.
I think for a year I didn't even watch
Yeah.
Toonami.
Yeah, I missed a lot of it. Even when the Attack on Titan was airing there, it was just like, okay. I never felt the need to watch Toonami for one show. But now it's just like, it's like next 2 hours, like just.
Yeah, because usually
Okay,
you would
right.
just when the next day when you wake up, you would
Yeah.
just watch it on demand or online.
I have a Funimation account.
Right?
I
Yeah.
pay for.
Yeah. Elitist.
So I think that's gonna be all for this episode, you guys. Hopefully we'll get into a better schedule with this. And any last words, Gene?
Yeah. You want to hear a joke?